Topping today's news, we hear from the CEO of the Airport Development Company at Routes America Conference. Senators passed the new foreign service bills, a look at the end-of-the-year trade statistics, and Agriculture Minister Jomo Campbell weighs in on the high price of eggs. This is your JCN Evening News. I'm Jarino Saunders. Thank you so much for joining us. On Monday, from day one of the 2025 Routes America three-day conference at the Atlantis, President and CEO of the Nassau Airport Development Company, Vernice Walking, said hosting the conference for the second time in the Bahamas was an easy decision.
Our first experience was a resounding success for the entire country. The connections and collaborations that were formed led to tangible growth in air service. This year, we have an even greater opportunity to showcase the Bahamas as a thriving tourism and aviation hub. We have an opportunity to strengthen our relationships with key airline and destination stakeholders. And we have an opportunity to demonstrate our readiness to expand air service and to deliver exceptional guest experiences.
Similar to the record number of tourist arrivals in 2024, the Lynden Pindling International Airport also saw an increase in visitor arrivals and departures, with some 3 million departure seats, an increase of 7% from 2023. Walking says the increase is the result of critical decisions made in 2024.
This growth has been fueled by expanded routes, stronger airline partnerships, and the continued appeal of the Bahamas as a premier destination. The aviation sector plays a critical role in our country's economy, and these numbers reinforce the importance of sustainable air service development.
A total of 22 airlines operated out of the Lynden Pindling International Airport in 2024, with the U.S. accounting for 64% of the total departures. The 2025 Routes America Conference wraps up on Wednesday with the Minister of Tourism and Investments and Aviation, Chester Cooper, as one of the keynote speakers. After facilitating the arrival and departure of more than 21% of the 3 million passengers that came through the Lynden Pindling International Airport in 2024, Bahamasair Managing Director Tracy Cooper revealed on Monday that the airline is considering adding a number of new jets to its fleet. According to Cooper, the decision to lease the additional jets and possibly an Airbus is still under consideration. He said additional jets could reduce the airline's operational cost up to 15%. At present, Bahamasair is operating with 6 ATRS or prop jets and 4 737 jets, which fly to 21 destinations in the Bahamas, the Caribbean, and 4 cities in Florida. When senators returned to the Senate for their first session this year, they debated the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Bill 2024 and Foreign Service Bill 2024 that were passed in the lower chamber several weeks ago and are aimed at modifying the Foreign Service. Minister of Economic Affairs Michael Halkitis began the debate and explained what the new bills intend to accomplish.
And what we seek to do with the passage of these two bills is to establish a Department of Foreign Service with clear structures, roles, and career paths for our diplomatic and administrative staff, to create the Alry Ramsey Institute of Foreign Affairs to ensure that Foreign Service officers are trained to the highest standards in the practice of diplomacy, and as well to continue the Ministry of Foreign Affairs responsible for the policy making and direction of foreign affairs, the foreign affairs of the Bahamas.
For those who may ask why the government needs to establish a Department of Foreign Service when the Ministry of Foreign Affairs already exists, Mr. Halkitis said the aim is to separate the work of the Minister of Foreign Affairs from the Director of Foreign Affairs, who will now have specific responsibilities, which he listed.
The duties of the Director General are to conduct all diplomatic and consular relations on behalf of the Bahamas, be a technical advisor to the Minister on Foreign Policy issues, be responsible for the technical direction of the department, provide briefings to the public on Foreign Service matters and policy issues relating to the Foreign Service as directed by the Minister, prepare analytical assessment and forecasting of issues, monitor development of bilateral relations, and it goes on, monitor relations with multinational organizations, and it goes on, and in effect what it is, Madam President, in my words, is really separating in a very clear way the technical function of the Director General of, I want to get the title exactly correct, Director General of the Department of Foreign Service, the technical responsibilities from what I would describe as the policy level responsibilities of the minister.
The bills were successfully passed during the evening session of the Senate. And finally, before the bills were passed, Opposition Senator Darren Henfield, former Minister of Foreign Affairs, expressed concerns with some foreign officers being allowed to take advantage of the government by becoming domiciled overseas while still getting benefits.
Section 26(1) of the 24 Act provides that a tour of duty at a mission must not, in normal circumstances, exceed 3 years. How do you have these people that go away and the Director General can't get them to come back home? Can't get them to return home. Some people have been away now for years. No, because they're getting allowances. When you're domiciled, certain allowances fall away. Yeah, they're not, and I didn't have an issue with people being domiciled. If you were domiciled, fine. You know, you get your pay, you're supported in whatever other areas we can support you in. But you can't be away for 10 years, 15 years, and what have you, and gleaning all of the benefits thereof. And
Senator Henfield described the action as being unfair to other well-deserving Foreign Service officers who may be working hard but just can't get those benefits.
And your colleagues at home are not allowed to be, Madam President, gain the same exposure, not allowed to have a tour of duty abroad for which they have trained and for which they have labored very hard, whilst you unfairly, in my view, are allowed to stay there. It's just unfair. And then you cheat your colleagues as well, because you're not able to, you won't come home and share your institutional knowledge now, your training, your exposure with them in headquarters or in some other area of the ministry at home, where you can help improve the ministry on the whole. And so that is an issue. Section 26(2) of the same regulations provide that a Foreign Service officer must not in normal circumstances serve more than 2 years consecutively abroad. Must not, under normal circumstances. I've long held that view, and I support that. I hope the Director General is listening. And we'll take it as I give it in all good-heartedness, right? You know, there are people who are qualified, who are trained, who have been laboring very hard at home and never had an opportunity, and they deserve an opportunity as well.
As it relates to the new bills, Mr. Henfield also questioned the removal of the accounting services in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs from the permanent secretary and placing it under the authority of the Director of Foreign Affairs, the Director General of Foreign Affairs. We'll take a break here. We'll be right back with more after these commercials.